This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning. Amy Jacobson here. Sitting in for Dan Proft is the one and only Bruce Wolf. Good morning, Bruce.
Top of the morning.
So we've joked around that Dan's off today because he's training for the marathon. The one-day training, because Sunday is a marathon. So he had to get his long run in and then the short sprints.
Only guy who can do the long run with a cigar in one hand and a brown drink in the other. I mean, me, I'm such a effeminate man. When I drink while I'm training, I got an umbrella drink. But he's got a brown drink.
You have a fruity drink with you?
A little Mai Tai.
Yes, but there's been a lot of talk recently about Dan running for governor. Because of
I'm
Bruce
stirring
Rauner.
it all up. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, Bruce Rauner, what? He signed the abortion bill, so it's tax-funded abortions. We have sanctuary states. We have transgender birth certificates now, thanks to our
We got a
Republican
guy who drops
governor.
his G's all the time.
Yes, yeah. Lied about his grandparents being born in Sweden when they were born in Wisconsin.
Got his kid into Peyton Prep.
I know.
Let's throw in the whole...
Oh, don't tell. All of us that are going through selective enrollment right now with our 8th graders, all think about that story.
Has $1 billion. I hate him for that.
I don't hate him for being successful.
I
Why
do.
do you vilify the rich?
Envy is my middle name.
Okay. So Dan Proft might be off because there might be an exploratory committee to see if he wants to run for governor.
I can't wait for the Sean and Amy show. I can't wait for that.
Stop it. I was walking down the street and a guy from DNA Info actually stopped me and said, "Hey, so when's he announcing?" And I said, "Who announcing what?" He goes, "Dan Proft, that he's running for governor."
So the one employee of DNA Info.
Stop it.
Stop it.
For the latest on that's all this Republican infighting and who's going where and doing what, let's welcome back to the show good friend to all, Thom Serafin from Serafin and Associates. Good morning, Thom. How are you?
Okay, great. Good morning. Good to be with you guys.
So Governor Rauner kind of secretly announced that he's running for re-election. What is going on with him?
Well, he's trying to, get his legs under him. He came into this job with a large war chest, but he didn't have a natural constituency because he hadn't spent a lot of time in politics. So, I mean, it's the same thing that the mayor is doing. They're identifying and growing their own and maturing their own constituencies. So where is the natural constituency for the Republican Party? For a long time, it was the conservatives, was the pro-lifers and others in the state of Illinois. You had a solid core there of 25, 30, 33%. Now, with those recent legislation that you talked about, that he signed this, abortion on demand, legislation the other day, where public funds are going to be used, by people who need abortions whenever they need them. He hurts and dents that natural constituency, so he's floated towards the middle. He had the sanctuary bill. The state of Illinois is now a sanctuary state for those people that are illegal aliens, immigrants, or however you want to refer to them. So he's tacking towards the middle. He's doing what Jim Thompson did naturally for 12, 14, 15 years when he was governor. He was running for office. He's trying to find a middle ground. It's the Republican Party is absolutely the minority party in Illinois. You have to grow it. Yes, you can win all the counties outside of Cook County, but you still can't get elected governor unless you make a dent up in Cook County, and you need the suburbs in Cook County. So I think the governor's strategist must think that he can make a dent into the suburbs in Cook County and the collar counties, and that will carry him to victory next time around.
Full disclosure, Thom Serafin likes me, Amy, because John
Cass, likable guy.
Well, first of all, I wrote a song about him, and Serafin and Cherubim, harmonious join. It's a Christmas song. But here's the thing. John Cass had a Christmas party, and he tweeted about it. He tweeted a picture of John, and all these Tribune luminaries were there. I think Colonel McCormick and Bruce Dole, all these people. And Thom Serafin was there. And there's this picture, and I replied to it, I recognize Thom Serafin. Who are the rest of these jamokes? So Thom Serafin likes me. Thom, interesting point that you make. Look, Rauner ran and he relied on the base of the Republican Party, the Dan Proft base for short, anti-abortion, pro-life, as I would put it. But why would he jettison that now? It seems like he's undercutting himself, and he's going to be a man without a constituency.
It sure feels that way if you're looking at it from 35,000 feet. There's 22 senators in the Illinois Senate out of 59. I think there are 51 seats in the House out of 118. You've got a couple statewide offices, no senators, U.S. senators, and you've got a half dozen, seven congressmen in Washington. And it's a pretty darn good congressional group of people the Republicans have in Washington, D.C., with the Republican president, Republican House and Senate. I mean, if Illinois ever was going to make anything of itself, there in D.C., that group of people could be significant right now. That's where I would be leaning if I was the governor. But going back to your question, you have to have a constituency. When Pat Quinn ran for governor, he won every state except three. Alexander County, I think it was downstate, and I think one of them was St. Charles, Madison County, and he lost Cook County. He won Cook County, and so he got elected with that. And then when Bill Brady ran, Bill Brady had the same success downstate, but he lost Cook County significantly, and he narrowly lost the governor's race. Bruce Rauner won. He won all the counties except Cook, but he did pretty good in Cook County. And then he tacked to the right when he became governor. And, when you talk about your colleague Dan Proft, who did run for governor at one time years ago, he does have a natural constituency, the conservative Republicans in the Republican Party. He's got that base. That's a cultivated base. That's a base that respond to Dan Proft and others in that particular part of the party. That's a natural constituency. That group of people you can rely on and build on. What the governor is trying to do is find some place in the middle, because he hasn't done a good job there. He made an effort with the Illinois Policy Institute people that took over his office, and you've known that over the last 3 months they've gone through incredible personnel changes at a very high level, which makes it very unsteady. The ship has been very unsteady, but the governor's been tacking forward. And the one common denominator here, Bruce, that makes it all work is money. He's got $68 million in his war chest. Nobody in the Republican Party has anything close to that.
But there's a Democrat who has money, okay, as opposed to what...
well, before we jump to the Democrats, I wanted to ask you, Tom, is there anyone that you know that is trying to unseat the incumbent during the primaries? Or any other Republican challengers that you know of?
Well, there are Republican legislators that are very upset with because they believe the governor broke his word on the he allegedly told them that he wasn't going to be okay with the abortion bill on demand, and he went ahead and signed it. So there are a lot of people in that part of the conservative wing of the party that are looking for a candidate and hoping for a candidate to emerge. They set a number of $5 million as the threshold to get into a primary, to have any significant push in a primary election. And you're running out of time. Petitions are on the street. People are gathering petitions to get on the ballot. So the deadline is fast approaching. So that makes it a very steep hill. You'd have to have somebody like a Dan or somebody with significant war chest who's got a good name ID that could jumpstart the operation. It's going to be very difficult for one of the legislators from Springfield to get into this race and be competitive.
Tom, your toast is ready. Your toast is ready.
Our toast is ready. And is Rauner exactly, is Rauner toast. Tom, here's the thing. Mitt Romney, he managed every time he had a setback with Newt Gingrich or whoever, he just outspent him in the next state 4-1. But then, you come against the Democratic machine with Barack Obama. It doesn't work that way. Rauner's going to be neutralized. I mean, when he ran against Sam Shapiro or Pat Quinn or whoever it was, was running on the Democratic side, he outspent them, like $45 million or whatever it was. He had quite a war chest, and he's got the war chest now. Pritzker's got a war chest, too.
Right. But on the other side of the aisle, you talk about the Democratic side with Kennedy and with Pritzker. They both have large sums of money that at their advantages. Pritzker comes into it with not a good name ID, but he's got enough resources to build that name ID, and he's doing that right now. Been on television nonstop for a few months. Kennedy's got that name ID, and he's well liked, especially by people downstate. And remember, Rod Blagojevich was elected with the votes downstate, not with the votes in Cook County. If Paul Vallis had spent, some more time downstate, he would have been elected and beaten Blagojevich in the primary. He only lost by 25,000 votes. So in this particular race, Kennedy and Pritzker now are going neck and neck, and they're statistically tied in most of the polls I've seen. Okay. And the battleground for them is Cook County. They're looking in the African-American wards. They're looking in the Hispanic wards. That's what they're trying to do right now. Whoever wins those constituencies will be the Democratic nominee. it's not a given. A lot of people downstate think J.B. Pritzker, who seems like a very nice guy, with the money, probably will be able to outspend and win this race. But right now, that's not currently happening. Kennedy and Pritzker are in a pretty tight race, and it's a better race to watch on that side of the aisle than the other one. You know, the general election is going to play out the way it's going to play out. You're going to have two people spend $100 million trying to beat each other up. $100 million, that's $200 million, maybe a $350 million campaign. Probably more money spent in this campaign than any other state in the union, a state that's broke. But
they could rebuild
the
things.
race in the Democratic primary looks to be a real exciting race.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Thom
Thank you,
Serafin.
Tom.
Always friend of the show. Thank
Good
you
to
so
talk to
much.
you, Bruce.
Thanks. Good
Amy,
seeing you too.
Take care.
Thanks. He joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line, but once
If you're